안녕하세요. 저희 KTN 애틀랜타 방송국은 지난 4월 6일 야드 세일을 통해 입양인 권리보호단체 Adoptees for Justice의 기부금 전달식을 진행했는데요. 당일 생방송을 보시고 많은 분들이 참여해 주시고 기부에도 동참해 주셨습니다. 그 이후 입양인 권리에 대한 소식이 궁금한 분들이 많이 계셨을 텐데요. 오늘 KTN 특별대담을 통해 그 뒷이야기를 전해드리겠습니다. So we have Congressman Rob Woodall here today to discuss about Adoptee Citizenship Act and relationship between the states and South Korea. Hello, Congressman Rob Woodall.
Yeah, hi, June. I'm glad to be with you today.
Okay, so Adoptee Citizenship Act was introduced this Tuesday, right?
That's correct. I was able to introduce it as the Republican, and Mr. Adam Smith from Washington introduced it as a Democrat.
So can you explain what meaning it has?
This is one of those issues that most Americans don't know about. We're talking about children that were adopted from countries all around the world. Korea is one of the important examples. And even though the families performed a legal adoption, they never went through the second part of the paperwork to have the child become a United States citizen. Back in 2000, we changed the law to prevent this from happening to any new families. But there's so many families from the 1990s, the 1980s, the 1970s that have children trapped. We want to solve that problem once and for all and make all of those adopted children United States citizens.
Can you explain how is it different with the bill that was introduced in 2000?
Yes. We realized as a country that so many families didn't understand that once they'd performed a legal adoption, they still had to go through a legal citizenship process. So in 2000, we changed the law to say that when you perform that legal adoption as an American family, your child automatically gets U.S. citizenship. That was the right thing to do. But what it didn't do was solve the problem for all the families that had gotten trapped earlier simply by not knowing. What most families don't understand is that you can apply for citizenship as a child based on your parents' citizenship, but once you turn 18, you're treated as an adult all by yourself. So if parents didn't apply within that short window, their children are literally trapped between two worlds now. It's an important issue for the U.S. and Korea, but it's also an important issue for Vietnam and Japan and Brazil all across the globe. And so we're working on something that isn't a Republican issue. It's not a Democratic issue. It's an American issue. It's a human issue. It's a real problem, and we've got a real solution here in this bill.
So can we say it's going to help all of the adoptees, including deported adoptees?
I think that we can. So many of these young people at the time, when you didn't have a citizenship status, if you were stopped by Customs and Immigration trying to come back into the country, yes, you were denied entry or you were deported, not because you'd committed a crime, but simply because your mom and dad didn't know about the paperwork they had to fill out. That's not who we are as a country. It's certainly not what we want for American families. And so we're going to fix this once and for all.
Okay, and you also introduced a Partner with Korea Act and Divided Families Reunification Act on the 14th of March this year. So can you tell me more about it?
When we negotiated that free trade agreement, we did not include enough visas for all of the South Korean businessmen and women who needed to come back and forth to help the economy grow. We want to fix that problem again once and for all, provide that elevated level of partnership that South Korea and America have always known.
And why is it important for the United States to have a strong relationship with South Korea?
Oh, gosh, this is a relationship that goes back more than half a century. It's important because South Korea is a global leader. We want all of our partners to be able to avail themselves of the protection of American laws, the easy access to visas. when you're dealing with a world leader like South Korea, it only makes sense that the U.S. have a partnership, not at a low level of coordination and cooperation, but at a very high level of partnership and coordination. And that's what we're trying to do here today.
And how much impact you're expecting it's going to make on Korean community in the States?
June, it varies depending on the family. But if you're one of those families where your child trapped in this status where they have no home country, it's going to make all the difference to those families. It's going to literally be a lifesaver for those families. The Adoptee Citizenship Act, critically important to those families that are affected. Move forward to the reunification bill. And when it comes to the economic partnership between South Korea and America, when South Korea leads, when America leads, when our partnership is on display, we lift economic boats around the globe through all of our multinational companies and all of our partnerships. So some of these bills are targeted at one family at the time. Some of these bills are targeted at making a difference for the entire globe.
How are you looking at the relationship between the States and Korea? Do you believe it's going to get better?
I absolutely do. To be fair, it's always been an amazing relationship we've had with the South. This close-knit bond that we have, having shared a unique struggle together. This is a bond that cannot be broken. It's difficult when you're taking on a major international challenge. We all have a lot to lose if we don't do it well. We all have a lot to gain if we do. This is something that the entire world is watching, but the decision is only going to be made amongst three primary leaders: those in the North, those in America, and those in the South. We have to have that unified decision-making trio if we're going to make this difference for the planet.
So that's all I prepared for today. So is there any other things that you wanted to discuss or add?
June, you've hit the big three in international relations today. If we can start by solving these top three issues, then I want to come back and talk to you about solving number 4, number 5, and number 6 after we have these successes.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. And thank you very much for your time and support. And we appreciate your work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, June.
입양인 권리 보호에 대한 시청자분들의 지속적인 관심 부탁드리겠습니다. 시청해주신 여러분 고맙습니다.